Hello neighbors, howdy, and welcome back to the old time Noya Mountain music teaching channel. And I'm super glad to have my excellent padre, Red Henry, here with us. And we are still rocking on our Understanding Improvising series. And today we're going to look at Soldier's Joy for the focus. And we're going to talk about different strategies and techniques for kind of organizing your mind, about different ways you can approach the tune besides just playing your basic melody. But before we do that, we're going to play it for you here. And we like to play stuff in harmony. And so we'll have harmony, and then we'll play it a couple times, and then we'll have harmony the other way. And so first time I'm going to play the lead, and Red's going to play the harmony. And then the last time, Red's going to play the lead, and I'm going to play the harmony. So we'll see if we can remember all that as we go through the old time Soldier's Joy. Here we go. That sounded real good, Paul.
Mighty fine.
Yeah. So you can hear we're doing some different things in there than just playing the regular straight old melody, which there's nothing wrong with doing that. That's where you have to start. You have to start with the chords and the simple melody. And then you can start to think about sprucing it up. But it's kind of nice sometimes to develop a systematic way to organize your improvisational approaches. And so we're going to give you a few tactics and strategies to contemplate as you're making your way forward. And where do you want to start?
Well, we could start with something you played a little bit of a while ago. On all these traditional tunes with melodies that you have to know the melody. One thing you can do to get a great improv line going is to just move it up an octave.
Yeah.
For example, on Soldier's Joy, there's the basic melody.
Mm-hmm.
Move it up. Start on the 5th fret of the E string.
Yeah.
That's a really cool thing to do, and people haven't heard it much. And it's just moving the same melody up an octave.
Yeah, you can do that same thing with the B part. We're kind of used to playing it on the 2nd fret of the E. So just being able to put in practice the ability to find that lower octave. So we're looking for an F sharp note, but you don't even have to know the name of the note if you know what it sounds like. Where is it? There it is. It's the 4th fret of the D. So you can find that B part melody low. And so the idea and the encouragement is to kind of be less rigid with your concept about like, okay, here is my arrangement. I need to play it the same way every time. And so you're becoming more of a musician. You're becoming more of a robustly versatile mandolin player than like, oh, I have my arrangement and I play it this way every single time. Now, another one of our favorite textures to spice up our tunes and songs is the stagger technique. And so, you can think about, approaching this melody in a very kind of, downbeat, backbeat oriented way. But before we do, please like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that little bell there from the notifications. You'll get all the good stuff from Noya Mountain Music. Thank you. And please consider becoming a patron on patreon.com/Noya Mountain Music. Or you can think about kind of leading into that next note on an upstroke. So right there, each new note, I'm playing an upstroke first. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Instead of down, 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 down. And when you're leading with your upstroke, it kind of creates this this momentum texture that is, good for the ears. You can also play that out of the chord position, Same thing with the B part. That's a really good other way to think about, approaching it rhythmically. What else is on your radar?
Well, we've been talking a lot about, especially the first half of the tune. We think about the second half of the tune. It's got a really tempting, easy melody there. What if you play with those notes a little bit? Changing the notes into a chromatic thing instead of just an ordinary scale. And it's something that'll just take the place of those simple scale licks instead of you're going.
And again, you're kind of working with that upstroke. And so you might feel this as a little bit swingy, a little bit jazzy, compared to the old time way of playing it. And it's a really great thing to hear. Getting used to working with your upstroke a little bit more than the downstroke is a great place to grow. Yeah. And you were mentioning, a little while ago, we were talking about that you can play this in a very much more kind of scalar way. So instead of going, or like the, which is a little bit more arpeggiated, you can play right on down the scale. That chromatic little thing in there. Like Soldier's Joy, this melody is a nice one that even folks who are at the beginning or intermediate level stage, they can kind of start to get a grasp on how this is working. So you have your two pickup notes, the 5th fret of the A, 2nd fret of the A, down to the open A. That's the way that the tune starts a lot of times. And then instead of doing that arpeggiated thing, you're running all the way down to the open D. Just write down your D scale and then write it back. Now when you get to that A string, you can make it easier for yourself and just go back to the regular melody. Or you can add another little element of the chromatics in there. So when you're coming up on the A string, after after that open A there, then you can come up chromatically from the 2nd fret to the 5th fret. 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then start your next little line. When you get that E note there, you can walk that down the scale to the 2nd fret of the G. So these are some ways that you can get some more notes into the tune, and you're not really playing outside the tune too much. You're still kind of within the structure of the melody, but it might sound a little bit more fancy, and it's a great place to grow if you haven't started experimenting with this kind of creativity in the improvising world. Yeah.
That's right. And once you're used to playing that scale style, then maybe when you're a little more advanced, you'll feel like using those scales to, what's a good word, to sort of bend the melody a little bit. You're still playing Soldier's Joy,
Yeah.
but you're maybe getting over the edges a little.
Yeah. So hopefully that's going to spark a few ideas in your mind about how you might like to approach your Soldier's Joy. There's 140 ways to do that. There might even be 150 different ways to do it.
Yes, and when you really feel like messing with the tune, take that second half. It's in 4/4 time, right?
Yeah.
How about if you play it 6/8?
Yeah, there's so many different clever little fun things that you can do to add a little humor into your music. Some of my favorite musicians are ones that add that element of humor in there. Red is certainly among the top of the humorists on the mandolin I have encountered. Yeah.
Or maybe impulsive.
It's good to be able to just, have a free spirit with what you're doing, but also informed, of course, by the foundational element of the melody. You have to learn the melody and learn it good, and to be able to kind of play it off the top of your head without struggling, different octaves, different registers, all that kind of stuff. And of course, you have to have the chords. So each tune you're learning, it's really going to help your improvising if you know what the chords are. All right. So, hope you've enjoyed this little video exploring the old understanding improvising, concept with Soldier's Joy. And if you like the video, that will help us. Leave a little comment, tell us what you're connecting with. And if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, that would be great. And if you'd like to check out the Patreon at patreon.com/Noya Mountain Music, there are various different levels and tiers of rewards. You can check out the tune of the month. There's also a free Noya Mountain Music monthly workshop that you can get involved with. And the next one that we're going to do is on breaking into the Monroe style devices. So that'll be a good one and for a lot of folks who want to kind of go in that direction. And so many thanks to all the folks who have been supporting the Patreon, which allows these videos to get made every Monday just about. And how about with it, we kind of, how about we end up with a little Alabama Jubilee in the key of C. That's a good one for improvising. There we go. Hope you're having a great day, neighbors. stars. We'll see you on down the road.